Everywhere we look, democracy seems to be in trouble. Only you can protect democracy. Welcome to Section 1 and 2 S.I.D.E, Students in Democracy Education. 10 fundamental principles of liberal democracy and 10 conversations. Let's get started. Welcome to the next S.I.D.E conversation. And today you will be talking about the pluralism principle. And it goes like this. Pluralism is a cardinal value and an essential organizing principle of liberal democracy. So what does this mean? When we hear the word pluralism, it's natural that we immediately think of difference and variety. Different beliefs, different traditions, different religious affiliations, different practices, different abilities, different identities, different opinions, different communities. It's important to understand that as with all Section 1 fundamentals of liberal democracy, pluralism begins with equality, not with sameness. While we're all different from one another in so many ways, we're all morally equal. Every one of us, we are morally equal. We're born as free and equal moral persons, and therefore our differences can never be the basis on which our basic human dignity, our equal moral personality, is denied or disregarded. Pluralism as a cardinal value of liberal democracy also finds particular expression in several other Section 1 fundamentals. But what exactly is pluralism? Well, there are several types of pluralism. Chief among them for our purposes are cultural, political, and to an extent, philosophical pluralism. Cultural pluralism refers to the fact that cultures are expressions of a variety of values, practices, and beliefs. It contemplates cultural diversity and represents a view about the fact of variety. Political pluralism is like cultural pluralism in a lot of ways. It's a concept that acknowledges and embraces the diversity of interests, values, and groups within a society, but it focuses on the political aspect of the coexistence of that variety within the political landscape. It emphasizes the importance of including various social sectors in democratic processes and ensuring that the interests of all demographic categories are represented in the political process and in policy making. Political pluralism recognizes that society is composed of various groups with differing opinions, beliefs, and priorities. These groups, including political parties, interest groups, social movements, cultural groups, religious groups, are free to organize, express their views, and also to compete for political power. Political pluralism emphasizes the importance of inclusivity, which is a key aspect of pluralism. That is, the inclusion of diverse voices and perspectives in the political process. So this means that different social groups, including those formed or organized around class, gender, race, and religion, among others, should have the opportunity to participate in policy making and in governance. It also emphasizes tolerance and dialogue. Political pluralism promotes tolerance and dialogue between different groups, even when they hold conflicting views and opinions. It encourages open communication and negotiation to find common ground and to reach compromises that accommodate diverse interests. The principle of pluralism is at the heart of liberal democratic constitutions throughout the world, including the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which protect freedom of religion, freedom of conscience, freedom of thought, opinion, belief, freedom of expression, freedom of association, and freedom of assembly, among other fundamental freedoms that give full expression to the principle of pluralism. Philosophical pluralism is also part of this concept of pluralism. It acknowledges that both the variety of beliefs and values and of value systems, and also the different modes of thinking, of discerning, of learning and analyzing, that is, the different ways of knowing or claiming to have knowledge, are important and must be respected. Doesn't mean they have to be agreed upon. It doesn't mean there aren't passionate disagreements and debates, but they must be respected. The paradox of pluralism is that while the several particular group identities, interests, and value systems may never be reducible to one essential and universally valid superinterest, identity, and value system, the equality principle reminds us that none of the differences that we acknowledge, protect, and sometimes even celebrate can ever be permitted to undermine or to deny the basic equal moral personality, the entitlement to equal human dignity of each and every person, regardless of those other differences. Cultural and political pluralism in particular are not principally concerned with definitive truth-seeking or knowledge-claiming enterprises, but rather with the recognition and protection of diverse value systems and of particular community identification and membership. There are diverse ways of realizing a person's right to determine the course of their life and their relation to culture and identity. People must be respected for what they have reason to value in their lives, except where that would entail promoting or defending the denial of another group's right or another person's right. Every citizen must exercise tolerance towards those of a different faith, belief, creed, gender, group, or identity. That doesn't mean they have to like that other group or that identity. They don't even have to respect the differences. They don't have to respect the viewpoints, the opinions, or the practices of the other. But they must tolerate it. In this way, there's an overriding universality that both transcends and applies to each person's and each community's discrete value system. Over to you for a fabulous conversation on the pluralism principle.